Located about 20 kilometers from Paris and built under the mandate of Louis XIV, the Sun King, the Palace of Versailles transformed a former hunting lodge into the most luxurious royal residence in Europe. The palace was not merely an aesthetic whim, it was a tool for political control. Louis XIV forced the nobility to live there to monitor them closely, thereby preventing revolts in the provinces. The opulence masked a system of absolute dependence on royal favor. Versailles represents the culmination of French monarchical absolutism, designed to centralize power and dazzle the world.
Designed by Louis Le Beau and Jules Hardouin-Massart, the Hall of Mirrors contained 357 mirrors which symbolized the economic wealth of France, as mirrors were items of extreme luxury at the time. The manufacturing of these mirrors involved an industrial espionage operation against Venice, which held the monopoly. France lured Venetian artisans with both threats and promises to break said commercial control. The architectural design of Versailles was an exhibition of technological and artistic superiority, destined to protect the eternal.
Houston placed in garden designed by Andrés Limnauter in what is now Calle Alfred's Garden Style. Perfect geometry included massive floating statues at head Grand Canal, keeping el fountains running was nearly impossible technical challenge. Since there was no go water pressure for all of the tents. Operaton tuner ten on only with the king pesa nervy and turned ten off immediately afterward outside whistle single. El Harden symbolizes el king demon over natural is free bending el lasting cape that is geometry will.
Louis XV and Marie Antoinette were the last royal residents of the Palace of Versailles. The financial crisis and hunger in Paris contrasted with the palace banquets. In October of 1789, the Women's March forced the royal family to return to Paris. The monarchy's disconnection with the reality of the people was total. Versailles became an isolated bubble that prevented the monarchs from understanding the magnitude of social unrest until it was too late. The palace went from being the epicenter of power to the symbol of the excess that triggered the fall of the monarchy during the French Revolution.
Our actual priority is to manage the country's administration firmly until the conditions for a safe, proper, and judicious transitions are met. We are not willing to allow a power vacuum to be filled by interests that will return us to the instability that marked recent years. This period of management is not merely administrative, but a guarantee that the cycle of previous crises has definitely ended. We will remain for as long as necessary to ensure the country's enjoy functions without external or internal interference that could compromise the established order.
The key word in this process is judicious. Everything we do is grounded in prudence because our mission is to restore peace, liberty, and justice to Venezuela. This is not just about a change of command, but a profound transformation based on solid democratic principles. We want these foundations to be so strong that they cannot be eroded in the future. Our vision is justice, is broad and firm, designed to protect the rights of every citizen and ensure that the country never again falls into the hands of mismanagement.
Huh?
Thousands of people who never served and countries, life independence
cemetery. There were strict protocols for every daily activity from the king's awakening to his men, being the greeter and perfumers. Sanitary conditions were deplorable. There was a non-efficient drainage system. The odors were unbreaker and deserted spring. The acidity tones of the crowder Howard the rigid etiquette of the record served to maintain the social order in a physically insanity and chaotic moment.
Where are they now and where are operating out that good? What many still fight to understand is what our presence is neither temporary nor superficial. Where we stay united, a proper transition becomes a tangible reality. Where are no go to live el country destined to chance out of inspiracy at to down purity at Apple. El decision has been made out el pants what's been said. What will mediating web concert at el administración unity el under web process is picable at el nation future it fluid regularmente under started of excellent.
Good afternoon, teacher. My name is Lisbarqui Hernandez, and I'm going to do the reflection of President Trump says we will run Venezuela. I'm going to do this a little bit improvised. It's going to be my own reflection. So I believe is not the best option because it's obviously an international intervention. But from the option we have is the best of the baddest options. So President Trump, what he wants or the United States government wants is temporary intervention, long-term stability because they don't want to change our regime for another. I, as a Venezuelan, applaud that. And he actually, I believe, he doesn't trust in Venezuelan opposition because we actually don't have that. I believe, he not even trusts in Maria Corina Machado, and he prefers to them Chavismo Madurismo still be in charge because they still have the gun power, the military power, and if he wants stability, is the best way to the streets being calm, Venezuela being peace, and that way the economy will be reestablished. And it's going to take in that way less time if he choose or make another military intervention because after all that is costing the United States money. And yeah, is from my perspective, he used a lot judicious transition, so he want to left the country in someone who actually he can trust and the Venezuelan people can trust because again we actually don't have an opposition.